Okay, now we'll discuss the requisites which the law requires that a limited partnership must comply. So these are the statutory requirements stated in the first characteristic. So these are the uh, must be complied and must be stated in the articles of a limited partnership. So the articles is the agreement between the or among the partners. So the first one, letter A, the name of the partnership must include the word LTD or limited. No, stands it means that there is a limited partner in the business. So letter B, the character of the business or the nature of the business must be stated in the articles. Letter C, the location or principal place of business of the partnership. Letter D, the name and the place of residences of the members. Letter E, the term for the partnership to exist. There are 5 years, 10 years, and so on and so forth. Letter F, the amount of cash or the value of the property contributed by each of the partners. Letter G, if additional contributions is agreed, then it should be stated. And as to when they are going to be contributed. Letter H, the time agreed upon to return the contribution of limited partners. So limited partner. Letter I, the sharing of profits or other kinds of sharing. Letter J, if given, the right of a limited partner to substitute himself an assignee. So if he's given the right to substitute himself, it should be stated, and the name of the assignee should be stated in the articles of the limited partnership. Letter K, the right to admit additional partners. Letter J, if given, then the right of limited partners to priority for contributions. So if there are more than one limited partners, then they should agree upon themselves to whom uh, the sharing of contributions or profit should be uh, given preference. No? Who's given the first order or second preference. Letter M, the right of the remaining general partners, if given, to continue the business in case of retirement, uh, insolvency, insanity, or death, or civil interdiction of a general partner. Letter N, so RDII means the retirement, death, insanity, or insolvency. Letter N, the right of limited partner, if given to demand or receive property or cash in return of contribution. And number two, the certificate of articles of partnership must be filed with the SEC or Securities and Exchange Commission. So these are the requisites in order that the limited partner can be defined as a limited partner and should conform. So, so there are acts that the general partner cannot do because it requires the consent or ratification of all limited partners. And there are 7 acts which is stated by the law. These are the following. If the general partner does any act in contravention of the certificate, so meaning of the agreement, the certificate means the articles of partnership, which is the agreement which contains the agreement among themselves. So if the general partner does any act which is in contravention, then it must be with the ratification or the consent of the limited partners, of all the limited partners. Number two, if the general partner does any act which would make it impossible to carry on the ordinary business of the partnership. Number three, if the general partner makes a confession of judgment against the partnership. So this contains about the case. Number four, if a general partner possesses partnership property or assigned rights in specific partnership property other than for partnership purposes. So this one is for personal purposes. Number five, admit person as general partner. Number six, if a general partner admit another person as limited partner, unless it's already written in the certificate. So if it's not, then it requires, if it is not written, then it requires the consent or ratification of all the limited partners. Number seven, to continue the business with partnership property on death, retirement, civil interdiction, insanity, or insolvency of general partner, unless it is already stated or authorized in the certificate. So if it's not stated, then continuing the business requires the consent or ratification of all the limited partners. So we go to the specific rights of a limited partner. So what are the rights being a limited partner in a limited partnership? Number one, the right to have partnership books kept at principal place of business. So that's very uh, understandable. The books we're referring to here are the accounting books. Number two, the right to inspect or copy books at reasonable hour of the day. So reasonable hour meaning office hours. Okay. Number three, the right to have on demand true and full information of all things affecting the partnership. Number four, the right to have formal account of partnership affairs whenever circumstances render it just and reasonable. Number five, the right to ask for dissolution and winding up by decree of court. So this time the limited partner can ask for dissolution and winding up of decree of court. It's stated in the in the dissolution topic of dissolution. Number six, the right to receive share of profits other than compensation by way of income. And number seven, the right to receive return contributions provided the partnership assets are in excess of all its liabilities. So when the moment comes that the partnership assets are more than the liabilities of the partnership, then they can ask for the return of their contributions, the limited partners. So these are the requisites that the limited partner can ask for the return of their contribution. Number one, all the liabilities of partnership have been paid, or if not yet paid, at least uh, the assets of the partnership is sufficient to cover them. Okay, so may dakong ikabayad. Number two, consent of all members has been obtained. So all the members must give their consent. Number three, the certificate is cancelled or amended as set forth withdrawal or reduction of contribution. So if cancelled, then there's no need to set forth the withdrawal. If amended, kung giusab gani, then it needs the statement of the withdrawal of the limited partner and the consequent reduction of contribution. So what are the liabilities of a limited partner? As to the partnership, the limited partner is liable for the difference between his contribution as actually made and that stated in the certificate as having been made. So if he promised 1 million and he contributed only 800,000, so he now becomes a debtor of the partnership for 200,000 pesos. Number two, he is liable for any unpaid contribution which he agreed in the certificate to make in the future time. So in some cases, limited partners would agree that they would contribute additional contribution in the future. Number liabilities of a limited partner as a trustee for the partnership. So this time he becomes a trustee. Now, trustee is very tricky because if not complied with, the person becomes liable as a criminal. So this is the first for specific property stated in the certificate as contributed by him, but which had not been contributed. So wala pa na contribute. And this time it has been specifically stated in the certificate that he will contribute. Number two, for the specific property of the partnership which had been wrongfully returned to him. So there is a specific property which is borrowed by another person and returned, instead of returning to the partnership, it's returned to the limited partner. And this time the limited partner becomes a trustee. So he's holding on to the property of the partnership. And then number three, the money or other property wrongfully paid or conveyed to him on account of his contribution. So if he contributes uh, or other property wrongfully paid to him, or he conveyed to him on account of his contribution, let's say a general partner contributes and gives this contribution to the limited partner. So the limited partner now it becomes a trustee. Trustee, and if he fails to give that money to the limited partnership, then he will be liable as a criminally. So limited partners should be careful when it comes to money. If the money should belong to the partnership, he should not accept it, no? But instead should give it directly to the partners or the general partners. So these are the incidents which a limited partner or limited partnership can be dissolved. I'm sorry, but this is the order of priority in the distribution of assets upon the dissolution of a limited partnership. So the first order, they're given in the settling of accounts are those due to creditors, including limited partners. So creditors, meaning third persons. So if the partnership owes money to the bank, so the bank should be paid first, including limited partners are also creditors to the limited partnership. So kaning limited partner, he is also a creditor. Number two, those due to limited partners in respect of their share in profits or compensation. So if a limited partner has a share in the profits or his compensation against Wildo, then he is number two. It is number two. Third reference or preference or order in priority are those due to limited partners as a return of capital contributed. And fourth preference are those due to general partners other than capital and profits. So this one pertains to uh, liabilities, no, liabilities of the partnership to a general partner. So if the general partner is a creditor to the partnership, then he is only fourth in the distribution of assets. Then number five, also pertaining to general partner, but as to respect of profits. So if there is profit or surplus remaining after distribution of assets, then that's the fifth preference. And the last preference are those to general partners for the return of their capital contribution. And that ends our topic on limited partnership. And for questions or comments or suggestions, you can email me to Mazarin Law at gmail.com or message me to my FB account.